Hi, friend. I hope you're doing really well today. And I wanted to talk about fullness, maybe why we avoid it, why we like it, um, maybe what's normative, whatever that means, what's not, and how basically, I want to give you um, some, not that you don't have to get skills from me, but I want to offer, I guess, maybe some food for thought, no pun intended, about why fullness can be so hard. So I'll just speak first from the restricting end of things is if you've ever tried to change your body, manipulate your body size, your shape, um, yeah, weight, whatever. And one of the ways we do that is um, maybe it didn't start off as like avoiding fullness. Maybe it just started with like, counting calories, macros, skipping meals, whatever you're doing, snacks, certain foods or food groups, and it turned into some of this felt sense of not feeling so much in your body. And I know for me that when I started restricting when I was in high school, it wasn't at first like all the meticulous counting. It at first was just eating less, and that feeling of having that buzzy hunger helped me not feel so emotionally um, overwhelmed. And that was the first thing I noticed is like feeling eating less helped me feel less. And I was feeling lots of sensations, hunger, and then like the longer you stay hungry, the more you get used to it. Um, Sometimes like the food preoccupation in my head would get me definitely disembodied and out of my body, and I wasn't feeling my emotions. And even though that felt bad, um, feeling my feelings and not having a way to articulate that or feeling safe to express it or knowing how to deal with it felt worse at the time. I was young. I didn't have much emotional regulation skills, didn't have any guidance. So, you know, I did my own thing to try to save myself and, you know, did the best I could. But obviously, that's a very destructive way of learning how to like feel a feeling and work your way through it. And so when you start eating again, what happens? You start feeling like, less numbness, less emptiness, less all the feelings of restricting. And you can start feeling pretty let down. And so, one of the things that when people dread feeling full or feel anxious feeling full is that you're having to deal with, you know, kind of all the lies and deception and delusion you might have had about how this is a good thing that I'm eating less. And you make it about health or you make it about, on the surface and short term, like I lose weight and people are less mean to me or less rejecting or, um, it gives me something else to do. And so you lose some of that and you have to learn how to deal, right? And another part of it is that when we start eating more food, we get kind of mad and feel resentful that all that hard work you put into like getting smaller, it feels like it's going to waste. And, you got to deal with those kind of feelings too of like, I think I need to grieve. Um, need to grieve all that and, kind of um, forgive myself for all the pride as well that starts to show up that maybe we had towards like I feel like I'm accomplishing something, I'm doing something, people see me more now or congratulate me, and there's just a lot of big feelings that come up. So there's no condemnation for all these things that actually people experience. We just recognize that it's all there. You don't need to judge it, but we have to admit it and deal with it, right? So those are some of the reasons why fullness is so hard for people to feel. You feel like, oh, I'm letting myself down. I'm losing. I'm not part of the winners club of culture, but also just the feeling of all the big feelings, the sad, the mad, the shame, the feeling alone, the fear of being alone, all that stuff. So that's why fullness is so hard and scary sometimes. And we have to really keep separating here and now what your mission and your values and your goals are. That, I want that competent normative eating. I don't want all of this um, high consequence ways of dealing with the world and with people and with myself and emotions and all that. And coming to terms with that slowly over time as the onion layers keep peeling off. There's nothing wrong with you for having these thoughts and feelings. It's more about what you're choosing to do with it. Um, as you go forward and allow yourself to have that fullness. All right. And then I know that there's some of us also that have some of that, but we also have this other part too that's like, oh, fullness feels like a warm blanket inside. And, when I wasn't restricting, I was eating to feel something, um, to have a kind of like body sensation that I knew what to expect. It didn't talk back to me in a cruel kind of way. It's comforting, so I know some of us here too have a dual relationship with fullness. Some of you watching this don't have any of that other stuff. You just have like the moment I start to feel less full, that's when I start to get anxious because I feel the aloneness, the emptiness, the not knowing what to do, how to contain all these big feelings. That's there for some of us too. So acknowledge both sides of it as well. And just know that fullness isn't your threat. Fullness isn't your savior. It's a body sensation that actually feels pretty relieving and good. But it can't do everything. It can't be really our friend. It's not our the thing that teaches that actually really contains the emotion. It's temporary, and we all know that. But because we have such a strong neural pathway of using it for so long and having kind of romanticizing its function, that once you just see it for what it is, it's like, oh gosh, like it's going to take some time and some practice and some support to be able to fullness be what it is, and to accept that these other needs in my life, there's better solutions for that. So I hope this video was helpful to help have some compassion for the fear around fullness or for the romanticization of fullness. And if you're watching this, you're on the right track. You're learning, you're growing. If you need more support, please reach out to us. Again, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tracy Brown. My team and I provide trauma-informed nutrition counseling so you can feel safer in your skin, and so the food can just be food. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.